It's not often one gets the opportunity to examine two locomotives, one each from a different manufacturer. They're both Black 5s. This is the Accucraft Black 5, the one that came out first, and it was followed shortly later by the fine scale brass Black 5. Close examination revealed a number of things. The fine scale brass, as the word suggests, is a finer locomotive. You can see clearly from the linings that the lining on the fine scale brass is a lot better than on the Accucraft. But of course the Accucraft in the foreground came with its lining applied, whereas the fine scale brass locomotive, it only came as black and you had to get a professional to put it on for you. One of the serious criticisms of the Accucraft was its very wide cab, and it can be seen compared here with the tender, whereas the fine scale brass, it's the correct width, same as the cab. The cab on the Accucraft is a little inaccurate, the windows are not central, whereas on the fine scale brass they're deadly accurate. On the right are the fine scale brass buffers, and on the left the Accucraft ones, which are much more robust. And that actually is a conclusion of the whole model. The Accucraft on the right here is a much more robust model than the fine scale brass, although good enough for my eyes. So how do they perform? Let's have a look at the fine scale brass and reverse it onto some carriages. This fine scale brass locomotive is controlled by a TX21. So we just turn up the volume and away she goes. She's a very willing performer, very smooth. This one has sound fitted. Very fine, realistic control rods. A very fine performer. Now for the turn of the Accucraft Black 5. Once again it's controlled by a TX21. And let's reverse back onto the very same train. We can start it on inertia if you like. We'll turn up some inertia, turn up the throttle, and away she goes, nice and smooth. It may interest you to know that this is not at full speed. This is a 24 volt motor. I'm now going to put it up to full speed. This is where the Accucraft really scores. It's a much more powerful machine. This one could pull 15 coaches, no problem at all, around this circuit at this speed. We're now going to stop it under inertia. We're going to shut the throttle and very slowly, all on its own, the locomotive comes to a halt. Well, it really doesn't get much better than that. Well, there you have it. The Accucraft Black 5 on the right, robust, more powerful. On the left, the fine scale brass Black 5, which is undoubtedly a finer model, better scaled, but doesn't perform quite as well and is not quite so robust. Well, you pay your money, you take your choice.